Hello and welcome back to the channel, and basically we have another pickles video, the pickles video for May. However, I'm filming this bit on the 7th of May simply because this is everything that I have for so far, and I'm only a week into the month. That's crazy. Well, I say that's crazy, but realistically, a few of these were got towards the end of April. Um, that I just obviously I got them after I finished filming for the monthly pickups for April, which as of filming this went live for me yesterday. If I can actually type into get into my computer, um, you know, yeah, it would have went up yesterday for me. I'm actually just going to quickly check how it's doing. So yeah, quite a lot of things. I even took a trip up to Dublin so far this month. Um, and yeah, I just need to put a few things away. So that's why I am filming this now. So yeah, let's get started. So we have three DVDs. We'll start off with. Um, that I picked up. This is gonna finish a show for me that I've been wanting to collect up to a certain season because I'm not gonna bother with the other actor. So we'll make a start here. We'll go. So I bought and have now completed. Uh, for me anyway, Two and a Half Men, and that's with buying season 5 and season 8 to wrap it up. So season 5 was €2.50. My phone's a bit blurry, and then season 8 was €8. So let me go fix that. Okay, that's much better. You can actually see that now. So yeah, pick these two up um, for the 250 and the €8 because that's where I'm going for. I'm not going to bother with the Ashton Kutcher years because I just don't like them. I did mind series 9 and 10, and that's kind of where I stopped. After series 10, and even in around series 10, I kind of just stopped because I just wasn't enjoying it. Um, so I got those. And then the other thing that I picked up was series 2 of Gavin and Stacey because there's €, and I recently just picked up series 1 for 50 cents. So I thought I may as well pick it up for the €, to add into my collection. Because apparently now my partner hasn't seen this when I told her about it. So, but I know my mother was a big, massive fan of Gavin and Stacey. So in a charity shop, that I don't get to frequent as much anymore, and even when I do get there, they don't have much. Um, it's always the same DVDs. And I got lucky that there's actually a Blu-ray there, and that was for Dunkirk, which is a brilliant film. Because I know when I first started here, nearly 5 years ago, I picked up the documentary on Blu-ray. I think it was the actual film, and I think it was AJ who pointed out to me that it was the documentary and not the actual movie itself. But now I do have the actual movie itself, and it was €1. So that's not bad. I don't see Blu-rays all that often out in charity shops anymore. And if I do, it's either stuff I don't want or stuff I already have. In this case, there was one that I didn't have and I actually needed, and it was cheap. So of course I was going to pick that up. Then I said, after buying that big lot of VHS, I said, I'm done with buying VHS for a while because I am running out of space. Or at least I was at the time. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to buy anything. So I'll go into town. I go into the St. Vincent de Paul shop that I sometimes frequent, that I've gotten some VHS finds in the past. And I was like, okay, I know I'm not going to find anything here, but I usually tend to go in anyway because sometimes I might even find some toys, to add that I might want. Um, I found two more VHS. One's a bootleg, by the way. Yeah, this is a bootleg. So yeah, these were a fiver each. So obviously, I'm now adding the Jungle Book to the collection, which I absolutely love this film. I did do a review for it last year, I want to say. So again, no mold whatsoever. So I'm very happy to add that into the collection. Now, like my Little Mermaid that I have, I believe this is definitely a bootleg. The quality is dog shit. I'm not gonna lie. And even on the back, I didn't realize it at the time. On the back, it says sample, so that's clearly not official. And there's no label here, but we have one right here if I can get it without the glare. So it says Aladdin there. So yeah, the quality is not great. So it's definitely a bootleg, but I'll keep it in my collection until I get an official one because I don't really care. But it's just also like it's like the sound quality is like really really atrocious. All right, if I'm gonna stack them there, I may as well move my mouse over a bit. Um, so I got a vintage purchase because as soon as I seen it, I was like, I need this because this is one of my favorite Pokemon movies of all time, and it was the introduction to my favorite Pokemon of all time. Now, the only downside to it is it's an NTSC, it's not PAL, and they to be fair to this seller, they made sure that it said it in the description that this is an NTSC, and after I bought it, they're like, hey, just so you know, this is an NTSC, this is an American print. So unless you have a region free player, you won't be able to watch it. Which I responded with, I should be able to play it on my Xbox because I'm able to play, Japanese DVDs on my Xbox One. So they're like, okay, and they shipped it out. I got it. I tested it on my Xbox One. No, it can play Xbox One games and 360 games, just not DVDs, and apparently Japanese DVDs as well. Don't know why it's able to do that. So then I was like, fuck. So I tested it on my PS2. I knew it was going to be like it was region locked, and it was. I was like, okay, my last Hail Mary here is my portable disc drive. And thank God I was able to rip it onto my laptop. So now I actually have a way to watch it. And that is for Pokemon, the movie Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. This movie is what introduced me to my absolute favorite Pokemon. Anytime there's a new Pokemon game out and I can have a Lucario on my team, I'm having a Lucario on my team. There is no ifs or buts. He is my favorite Pokemon. I will have him on every one of my fucking teams that I can. So yeah, very happy to finally add this in because this was a fiver unvented. So I'm very happy to add that into my collection. Now, as you may know, I do have a girlfriend. We've been together, it'll be 8 months, long past 8 months, since when this comes out in June. And I love Doctor Who, as you well know. Um, and so I have gotten my partner into Doctor Who. Now we are skipping some episodes, and they're just episodes that I just like refuse to watch, or I'm just like, I said we'll watch them, and then I'm like, I just want to skip to the finale so we can move on. And right now, as I'm filming this, we are on the 60th anniversary specials, and she's happy because David Tennant has come back. But that means now, we're getting to the point where I have season one of Shooty's season that she got for me for Christmas. We're going to need season two, so we went half because it was still 50 fucking euro, a little over 50 euro for just the DVD of his season, but we needed it if we were going to watch it because we have no other way to watch it. It's not we don't have access to BBC iPlayer and all that. So to watch the show legally, we went out. We went ahead and bought season two of the Ncuti Gatwa era, which now means I have all of the modern Doctor Who's except for a couple of spin-offs here and there, like a couple of seasons of the Sarah Jane Adventures and the War Between the Land and the Sea, and then it's just the classic episodes that I need to get my hands on. So yeah, there is the front of it. Here is obviously the back. Now I did review these when it came out, and we're coming up to a year since when I actually last went and to go watch it in cinema. So we have obviously the front here with the Dr. and Belinda. We have the logo, and then we have the Dr. and Belinda there, and then some. We have this little leaflet yoke which tells you what's on each disc. Then we have the booklet to go over stuff, and then here it is. Here is all of season 2. What's annoying is, and I hate, and this is probably why it drove up the fucking price. Not only the amount of content that you're getting, but the fucking size of these box sets. Um, season 2 finishes here. That's it. Then these last 2 discs are Doctor Who Unleashed, which no one really gives a shit about. I know I don't. And it's a fucking waste. And I had the same issue with the season 1 box set because I even made a rant video about that. So yeah, we went halves to buy the season 2 box set because we are getting ever so close to it. So we needed to do it now. We needed to do it now. We couldn't wait to see if we could get it on sale. Now, I then at the start of this month on the 2nd of May. So this is April. Well, this is the last bits from April. I can't remember if this was Lucario was May or not, but I think it was. So this was the last few things from April. This is the start of May. So on the 2nd of May, me and my partner took a trip up to Dublin because it's been nearly a year since I was last up there. I made a whole video about that. If you want to go check that out, if you want, because there was not a lot of footage filmed. But I will go into a lot more detail of like what I picked up and all of that. So I'm not going to go too in depth here. So the first place we went to was, of course, HMV, and I picked up 3 things. We picked up 3 things. I picked up Volume 4 of the Dragon Ball Super manga because I needed it. I picked up the film I Swear because I watched it prior to purchasing it, and I loved it so much that I wanted to have it in my collection. And then this was the only way that we could actually get this Blu-ray because in Ireland was through HMV because Golden Discs was not going to get it, which means CEX more than likely wasn't going to get it either. And it was then another case of Amazon or HMV or eBay, and that was to get Five Nights at Freddy's 2 because as you can see here, and I did go over in the video, but it only has the UK H rating on it, compared to I Swear, which has the UK and the Irish rating. That's why this hasn't come out in Ireland, because except for HMV. That is the only way you can get it, is to order from HMV or order from the UK. And it sucks. It sucks that that's what we have to do. So next, I then of course went into Liffey Street CEX, and the only thing I bought there was Star Trek Discovery Season 5, the final season. So that means now I'm only missing Season 3, and then I'll have all of Discovery. So my Star Trek Complete Collection is getting there. I just need to solely dedicate time to actually buy these now. So it's also Free Comic Book Day, and we went into Forbidden Planet, and I got some comics. I got some free comics. So I got so for the Free Comic Book Day, I got the Amazing Spider-Man. We have the Amazing Spider-Man here, issue 1. I also then on Amazon bought new sleeves for my comics because I needed to re-sleeve my old ones anyway. Because there's a few that I didn't have sleeves for, so like 100 sleeves for $5.99. So I was like, that's a no-brainer. We have Avengers Armageddon issue 1. We have Alien. Well, I'm effectively referring to it as Alien versus Predator versus Planet of the Apes, issue 1. Then we have Power Rangers issue 0. We have Disney Stitch. I mainly got that for my partner. And then we have Supernatural issue 1. So now the 2 that I bought, the 4 things that I bought there, I almost forgot about me coin, is I bought 2 more comics that I got from their comic bin. So for €6, I bought this vintage. I'm going to say vintage. It's like 37 years old now, this comic. and that is the 64-page spectacular Avengers presenting the new team. So yeah, I bought this because I love the cover art. Especially as Steve Rogers as the Captain and not Captain America. And someone who I don't even know being the Forgotten One, and so I don't know anything about the Forgotten One. That's why I picked it up, and then I also picked up this Deadpool issue 9. That was €3, and then I also picked up another manga book, and that was Dragon Ball Z issue volume 1, because I have volumes 1 to 3 in an omnibus for OG Dragon Ball plus volume 7 by itself. Volumes 1 to 4 of Dragon Ball Super, and now I have just volume 1 of Z. And then last thing I picked up was this Yu-Gi-Oh metal coin. So on there it says it's time, which we have Yu-Gi-Oh on it, and it says game Yu-Gi-Oh game flip coin, and on the back of it it says it's time to duel. So yeah, I'm just gonna put that coin off to the side. Then in Westmoreland Street CEX, I picked up 2 Blu-rays, and that is one that I was surprised that I didn't actually have. Like I know I have it on the season series 12 box set for Doctor Who, because when we got to that point, I was like, oh, I don't have that. I have the other one, the other New Year special on Blu-ray, the other two, but not this one. And it's €8, so I picked up Resolution on Blu-ray. Like I know it comes in the series 12 box set, but I'm just surprised that I didn't have it because I usually like to have them stand alone, you know. But that was €8. Then I also picked up Pixar short films volume 1 for €3, 3.50. I can't remember which. And I also picked up a PS2 game, but that will be in, of course, the PS2 collection corner video that will be out next week. Then we get on to the last few things here. So the last CEX that we went to was, of course, Georgia Street, and that's where I spent the most money. Um, and that was one thing that had to be returned, and that was a steelbook for Call of Duty 2 Modern Warfare. Well, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 for the 360. Not realize it was just a steelbook by itself. I already have it complete that I got from a charity shop. I completely forgot all about that because didn't have a list of my 360 games. Now I do. So I picked up 28 weeks later on Blu-ray. So now, because I already have 28 days later that I got in a charity shop for €2. So for €15, I decided I'll pick that up to have them, and I'll get the others when the new ones 28 years later, and that whenever I do get around to this franchise, and then of course I seen them there. I was like, yeah, I want these, and that is Volume 5 of Dragon Ball Super, which has episodes 53 to 65. So we're into the Future Trunks arc, or the Goku Black arc, whichever one you want to call it. And then we have Volume 6, which is episode 66 to 78. So just before the start of the the Tournament of Power. It finishes off the Goku Black saga, and then it goes into the bunch of the filler episodes that they had from there. So yeah, but they didn't have Volume 4, which is another one that I was missing. So that was it from the Dublin trip. Then recently, I went this past weekend. I went um, to CEX because they had a DVD that I wanted. So this was Monday. Yeah, this is Monday just gone for me, and that was because it was the May Day bank holiday. And I picked up again because I already had it, but then I got rid of it. Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. So I love this film. I absolutely love it. I don't know why I got rid of it. Can't remember why. It would have been during when I called a bunch of DVDs. But I love this movie, and it was €1, so I wanted to pick it up again because I wanted to show it to my girlfriend. And then going with the season 2 of the Gavin and Stacey that I picked up season 3. But I have 1 to 3. Now I just need to actually see if we. I know I like it from the little bit that I seen, but we had to now actively watch it to see if my partner's interested in it. So now we get to the last few bits that I have to show for right now. Nearly 18 minutes into this video, and again, this is just from the 7th up to the 7th of May. Who fucking knows what I'm going to get for the rest of this month? But I got one Vinted, one CEX, one Amazon order. I'm still actually waiting on one Vinted order to come through, as well as one eBay purchase. But that's coming from the UK, so more than likely I'm going to have to fucking pay import fees. So the CEX order that I got was for Volume 4 of Dragon Ball Super. So now I have 1 to 5, 1 to 6. So this is episodes 40 to 52 because I already had 1 and 2. Now I have what I think I had 1 to 3. Now I have adding in 4, 5, and 6. So very happy with that because I do want to got a bit of the hiccups there because I do want to rewatch them at rewatch Super. Probably then again with the remake coming out, Dragon Ball Super Beerus, I might just wait for that. So the one thing that I always wanted in my collection was an action figure of a Borg, anything Borg related. Last year I accomplished that by getting 3 Borg cubes in my collection. 2 of them were playsets that I got last Navan Comic Con. Another one that I got on Amazon. The little yoke that you press the button and it says a bunch of phrases, and it lights up, and only when it's saying those phrases. But I've also always wanted a Borg drone figure. So then I went onto Amazon and I found one. It was, and I have it here. It's Star Trek: The Next Generation Super 7 reaction figure of a Borg drone. So I left it sealed because obviously I wanted to open it, and that's also the main reason why I'm filming this now is because I want to open it, and I'm going to open it on camera. So then here's the back with all the other characters that you could get, being Picard, Data, Worf, Guinan. He's labeled as Crusher, but it's actually Wesley. So then it gives a little bit of a backdrop into the Borg. So yeah, I'm going to open him. I'm not going to keep him sealed because I want to have him on display. So I bought this when I bought the season 2 of of Doctor Who, but it only arrived on Wednesday, even though the Doctor Who arrived the next day. So he's a cool little thing. No, very little articulation and stuff, just from messing around with him here before I show him off. The head definitely can't move because of the tubules. But yeah, just a little guy. So obviously his arms can move up and do the full 360. His legs can kick up. They're not ball jointed at the side, so that's about it. And that's basically it for the articulation. His head can move slightly, but because of the tubules, he is held in place. So yeah, very happy with that. And that was like €13 or something like that. And then I went on to Vinted. And I seen this guy post up some like vintage Playmates Star Trek figures. So I started to scroll down, and I kept scrolling, and then this caught my eye. I was like, I'm gonna buy it because it was cheap. It was very cheap, and it came with like all of his accessories. So now I have 2 Borg drones. Yeah, literally not long after buying that Borg drone, I seen this vintage 1993 Playmates Borg drone. So you won't be able to see him off to the side there, but he comes with the original stand, which of course is the Borg logo. And it comes with 2 interchangeable hands. So if I don't want him to have 2 regular hands, he can have yes hand, or he could have yes hand. So yeah, and I have 2 drones. Now the last thing that I want to talk about is that white bookcase there. I bought a new bookcase. So we're trying to get a chest of drawers for my partner because she's been living out of bags for the last 5 months that we've been living together. And so we went to go check out the charity furniture shop. And unfortunately, they did have one there, but it's €50 and it's completely manky. Whereas if I go to a different shop and buy one brand new, I could buy one brand new for that price. We just have to put it together ourselves. While we were there, I copped that bookcase, and that was €15. I was like, okay, got it home. That has all my Doctor Who's on it. Every single last one of them, except for the stuff that I have here and the 60th anniversary Blu-ray that's downstairs. It has all of them, and there's still room left. Because I used to have them off to the side here with my Star Trek collection. But because as well now my VHS collection, that's getting pretty, like that bookcase and my PS2 collection, it was getting pretty fucking full. So for €15, and it still has a lot more room to go, it was a no-brainer. So after 3 years, 3 long years of trying to save space and all that, I eventually bought another bookcase. But that's fine, because the plan is I'm not going to keep all of those DVDs that are in that. I'm going to actually donate a lot of them because there are movies that I haven't seen and I've had them for years and I'm clearly never going to get around to them. So, and I was going to wait to burn them onto my laptop, but that's just way too much effort, to be honest with you. Because the ones that are in those little box there, that's all the ones that I have seen that don't have Blu-rays. So I'm gonna donate them to charity, and then the ones that I'm keeping, I'll just put into one of those storage units that I can get on Sheen. Um, so yeah, let's see what else I can get for the rest of this month. Oh, and the last thing I picked up an Xbox 360 controller, so I can play my PC games on my laptop like Skyrim and Fallout because I can use my Xbox One controller, but I'm sick and tired of it having like a yo-yo going up and down the stairs and all that. So me and my partner went halves on this for €25. Um, so I don't have to fucking do that now. I can leave that controller downstairs. But yeah, now that's everything. So let's see what else I can get for the rest of this month. Okay, so it hasn't even been a week since I recorded the first part of this massive pickups video. And the main reason why I'm recording this now is because, well, I bought more VHS on Vinted. So as I said, last week weekend for me, because I'm recording this on the 13th of May, I bought that the new bookcase behind me there, and that's strictly for my Doctor Who's. The one beside it, which is right here, is now my entire Star Trek collection plus DVD movies that I haven't seen that I decided to keep. So I went through that bookcase and I was like, well, there's a bunch. I'm never going to get around to all of these movies, so why is it taking up so much space? So I just was like, right, these are ones I'm definitely not going to see. Most of them are going to be traded into CEX soon. The other is going to be donated to a charity shop. And so that meant that the bookcase off beside me, which used to be my Star Trek and Doctor Who shelf, is now my VHS shelf with a bit of PlayStation 2. Um, so yeah, I had two Blu-rays that I bought, and then I was like, you know what? Now that I have this done, let me go buy some VHS. And there's one particular VHS in particular, and it's the whole reason why I'm actually filming this right now. Um, is why I bought this again because I now have technically three copies of this, one sealed and two now not sealed, and it's all in here. So, but I'll show off the Vinted order that I had gotten, because it's a steel book, a Blu-ray steel book that I got before all of this, and I got it for €4, and that is for Back to the Future, the very first Back to the Future film, we have here, and it's a really nice steel book. It's in really really good condition. There are some like small little like dings that you can see, right there spread around on the back, but that's fine. Like it's in pretty nice condition. And so there is the inside. Now, the only thing when coming to display this is I have a box set with all three, so I might just lob this in with that box set, for now, and like get rid of the regular Blu-ray that I have of the movie. So yeah, not bad for a €4 Blu-ray pickup. I did miss out on an ET uh, steelbook that the same seller had, but I just kept, as I said, I kept waiting for that to go down in price. Because initially it was a tenner, and then the seller lowered it all the way down to €4. So yeah, not long after getting that steelbook, I went into town on Saturday. Was it Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday. Saturday just gone. And as you may know, this film on Blu-ray, not only is it an expensive Blu-ray, but it's also one that I used to be my favorite movie of all time. That is now The Truman Show, and this film has fallen to my fourth favorite film of all time, and that is Howl's Moving Castle. So yes, I finally picked this up on Blu-ray for €28. Well, technically €14 because me and my partner went halves on this, and so I'm very happy to add this into my collection. Um, very happy. Both DVD and Blu-rays in there. And I'm just so fucking happy now. And I was told by the guy, one of the guys who worked there, was that this had literally just been returned not long before I walked in, and his reason for returning this, because this was an online purchase that this person had made, the main reason that this was sent back was because it didn't come with a slipcover. I shit you not, that was the reason. Now you know me. If it has a slipcover, if I can see that it has the slipcover there, I'm gonna buy the compared to a non-slip cover version. I'm usually gonna buy the slip cover. But if I'm ordering something and it doesn't come with a slip cover, I don't care. I like it. It doesn't bother me either which way. So, but aside from that, I'm very happy to own this now in my actual collection on Blu-ray, because as I said, this is my fourth favorite movie of all time. Used to be my favorite movie of all time, and so I'm very happy to own this. So yeah, those were literally the two small little pickups that I got for a big Bertha here. Um, so yeah, I paid. This is the vintage order. I paid €5 for 10 tapes, for 10 VHS tapes. Only two of them I have actually seen, and again, I'll explain my reasoning why I purchased this. When I get this opened. So, okay. Okay, so we'll just start picking from the top. So we have a double feature here of two films that I have never seen before, and that is Legends of the Fall and The Devil's Own. So I haven't heard of any of these, but it's a 2-for-1 on a tape. So I will test to see if that works. I'm not going to film me testing all of these, except for like maybe one tape, just to show you the reason why I had to buy yet another copy of this movie. So the next one we have here is again another film that I have never heard of, and it's My Father the Hero. Never heard of this film whatsoever. There we are. I didn't even bother to see if there's any mold on these on the last film, so I'll just check if there's mold on this one. Looks to be a bit fine. Looks to be might be like an ex rental or something like that. Yeah. My Father the Hero looks fine. I'll check the other one when I go to actually test them. Next up, we have Speed 2, which I have heard of, but I haven't seen. So there we are. I'm going to save this one for a moment. We also do have the original Speed, but it is in worse for the cover is really worse for wear. Um, but it is there. As you can see, it is falling apart. I do have some spare tapes, blank tapes that I can put that into. We have the third Jurassic Park film. I have not seen a single Jurassic Park film. I have the first one on VHS, and now I have the third one on tape. Um, so there we are. Let's see. Another one that I have heard of that I do want to watch at some point, and that is The Fugitive. Because again, I have heard great things about this film. So I will get around to it at some point. Next is another one that I have been told time and time again to watch. I think even AJ over at AJ's Movie Place will be happy to know that I do own this now, a version of this film, so I can actually watch it. Because I know he has been on to me in the past year or two ago to actually watch this. And that is The Abyss, specifically the special edition version of The Abyss. So there we are. We are nearly at the end here. We only have 3 more tapes to show off. Another film that I have never heard of before, and that is Sorted: Life Gets Larger After Dark. Let me pull that back a bit. Yeah, never heard of it before. Don't know if I actually am going to keep this in the collection or not. Case is a bit broken up there. So now we're going to get to the 2 tapes for why I actually bought this, because I didn't buy it for these are a bonus. Oh, I forgot one. These 8 tapes are a bonus. It was mainly for these 2 tapes right here. So the first one is one that I don't have in my VHS collection, but I do have it on Blu-ray, and that is Star Trek Generations. So yeah, easy pickup. That's one of the main reasons why I want it, because I do want to have the Star Trek films on VHS and Blu-ray. So I'm very happy to add that into my collection, because I do love this movie. It's a really great movie. It's a really underrated Star Trek film that not a lot of people actually talk enough about. They especially for the Next Generation films, they mainly just talk about Voyager, not Voyager, First Contact, Insurrection, and Nemesis. Generations does not get enough love, and it really should. So speaking of First Contact, I have a third copy now, and that is simply because not even a year to the day of me purchasing this, my first copy of First Contact, it is wonky now, and I'm going to show what I mean by that when I go to test out these tapes. But this was the whole reason why I purchased the third copy. Now, as I said in the beginning of this clip, I have a sealed version of this, of Star Trek First Contact, and I don't want to open it. Now, the only reason I discovered that my First Contact tape was a bit wonky was because on First Contact Day last month, in April, I wanted to watch this movie on VHS, and so I loaded it up. I was gearing up to watch it, and it did not work. Well, it did work, but it was choppy. And again, I'm going to show you why now in a second. But yeah, that's why I had to buy yet another copy of Star Trek First Contact, because mine is and it still looks pristine. Like, there doesn't seem to be any mold on it whatsoever, but it's still glitchy. Is the best way I can describe it. So I'm gonna test these out now and I'll show you what I mean for what First Contact is like for my current copy, and it's why I had to go buy this other copy. Okay, so this is my first copy of Star Trek First Contact. So let me just show you what I mean. So that's so that it is different
to this one.
Biometric conditions in maintenance theory. Atmospheric pressure was 2 kilopascals above normal, 92% humidity, 39.1 degrees Celsius. 1 degrees Celsius.
See, that's what it does. And it keeps doing that.
How shields were down. Someone would transport it over here without being detected.
So that's why, and I tried to see if I could, watch it and it not bother me. The answer is it bothered me, so that's why I went and bought another copy. I literally just put in the brand new copy that I just got, and it's still doing this issue. And it does. I don't know if it's the TV or not, because it definitely hasn't done that for any of the other tapes that I have, gone for. So it is very. That's annoyed me now. That's, for whatever reason, it is specifically Star Trek First Contact that is doing this, because I've tried and I've tested a bunch of other tapes and they play fucking fine. So I'll just play from here. See, it's still doing it. So here's Generations at the very end here of the movie, obviously. Oh no, Generations is doing this as well. Okay, but I put it in sorted, and I'm not having that issue like I am with the two First Contacts and the Star Trek Generations. Like, it hasn't done that little yoke since, and I've been. So I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so some time has again passed since I last filmed when I got that big box of VHS tapes. I have rewound basically all of them back to the beginning, except for The Abyss, which I'm currently doing right now. Funny enough, when I rewound the new First Contact that I got, it started to play fine. However, Generations is still wonky, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, apart from that, they all work. So yeah, I do have one new tape to show off, some toys, and yet another vintage purchase. So the tape that I actually got in a charity shop, and it is slightly more than I would have liked to have paid for a VHS tape in a charity shop. But I was like, I do want this, and so I was like, probably the only physical media thing I'm going to buy this week. So I may as well treat myself, and that is for the Irish film The Snapper. Yeah, so I paid €10 for this in a charity shop. It works. Don't really need to rewind it at all, and yeah, because I absolutely love this movie. It's a really great film. I did do a review on it ages ago. Um, so yeah, that was a tenner, and then for €2 in the same shop, the same charity shop, I bought three toys for €2. The main one I wanted, I'll save it for last, is the main reason why I opted to purchase it. Um, so we'll start off with the McDonald's one. So yeah, we have this A Bug's Life, little McDonald's toy. If I just pop that up and then twist him, if I was to like leave him, he would basically just do that. So that's just like a filler toy. It's not going to be like ever on display. It'll probably just go into my one of my storage boxes that I have for my toys. The other toy that was it's nice to have is just she's just missing her lightsabers, and that is for this Ahsoka figure here. She's missing both of her lightsabers, but That's what you expect for a toy in the charity shop. Um, just have to it just paused on the rewind there, so I'm gonna go again on the rewind. And then the main reason why I bought it was because I noticed this straight away, and it's the Power Rangers Zeo Lightning Collection blue figure, which is Adam. It does not come with his helmet or any of his accessories, unfortunately. Um, but he is, I like him. I like that was the main reason why I bought him, is because he was a Power Ranger, and the cheap ass Power Ranger at that. So if I was to buy him like with all of his accessories and the helmet, we're talking about 40 to 50 euro here. So getting just him for €2, I can't really complain. So that was last week, after I had unboxed all of those tapes. So now we get on to the vintage item, because again, I wasn't going to buy anything. So this was Friday night, and this thing had been listed for €21.50. And then the seller, the moment I added it into my favorites, the seller then proceeded to offer it to me for 18, or no, it was €19. Then they put it down to €18, and then they put it down to 16. I was like, okay. And I was saying that to my partner, and like, Vintage teasing me with this. Um, and so I went and looked on eBay for just like how much it's going for, by like compared to what I would be buying it for, and it was really really cheap. So let me just put that with the other vintage box I still have yet to throw out. So it's in here in this dog food box. It is Star Trek related. Um, of course, it would be me and for Star Trek related. So I paid €16 plus the postage uh, for this. So once again, I need to bring those down to put into the recycling bin. And yeah, it is an Eagle Moss ship. It's the Enterprise A, or rather, the movie Enterprise. It doesn't even say Enterprise A. So yeah, because I do have a 3D printed version of the Constitution refit, and again, I'm going to show that off now in a minute. Once I, of course, take out. No! The fucking nacelles broke. Fuck. Yeah, ah. I noticed this straight away, that the nacelles. Ooh, nearly fucking dropped the whole yoke. The nacelles came off. That's that's rather unfortunate, because I don't think that was mentioned in the listing. Now, obviously, I can stick it back on, but it's not going to be stuck on just right. So I will have to do a bit of super glue. So I'm going to have to be extra careful now. But I love this. I'm so happy that I have this. Just irritated that the nacelles broke. So I don't know if that happened in the packaging process and the seller just never told me, or if it was mentioned or not. So because I think it's the saucer it that this will be put on, right? If I do go here, yeah, it is the saucer is what's going to hold it up. Um, so that's annoyed me now. That really has annoyed me, and I already know this pickups video is quite long, because I just added in all the other clips bar this one, because I'm filming this right now, and it's already up to like 40 minutes. So I might end it off at some very very soon. But yeah, there she is, comparing it to. Also, that's now done. So, so yeah, here we have the Enterprise next to the 3D printed one that I done last year. So I might keep my 3D printed one on display with the rest of my other 3D prints, but then again, or I might move it over to where my stereo is because that's where I also have a few ships. Um, because I have my Eagle Moss stuff on right here. So yeah, I'm just really gutted about that now. I need to go investigate because that has upset me now. So I'm gonna have to message the seller and say, hey, the nacelles are broken. Um, so that's rather unfortunate. Luckily, I filmed me opening this instead of opening it off camera. So I'm really glad that I've done that now. If I have to use it as proof, so yeah, let's see what else I can get for the rest of this month. Okay, so today is actually now the 21st. I have two final things to show off, two Blu-rays, and then that's it. Because this video is already as long as it needs to be. So I again said to myself, I'm not buying any physical media this week. That was a lie. Because after going into CEX and having a look in the video game department, the PS2 side of things, because obviously by when this comes out, the follow in a couple of days time, I'll have the PS2 collection corner, where I'll be showing off what I got for this month on terms of the PS2 side of things. And then I had a look at the Blu-rays, and then two things caught my eye. Uh, Fortunately, season one of this, every other disc worked except for disc 5, because I had a really deep, bad scratch in it, and no matter how many times you clean it up, it is still fucked. Unfortunately, my Xbox just refuses to play it. But season two does work. So season one was 20, but season two of Torchwood on Blu-ray was €8. So I picked up season two of Torchwood. I already have season two on DVD, but I decided for €8 I will upgrade it to Blu-ray, and that's what I had planned to do for season one. But unfortunately, I have to return season one now because it did not work. So now all I need to do is get season one, and then I'll have them all of Torchwood on Blu-ray. So yeah, very happy to add that into my collection. I will trade in my season two copy. And now I actually have a charity shop pickup. Um, because, and this is for a film that I have actually never seen before, and I just picked it up because it looked interesting. It's it was published by the BFI, and that is Tokyo Story. So yeah, I know next to nothing about this movie. I know on Letterboxd has 4.4 out of 5 stars. So clearly it seems to be really, really good for a film that came out in 1957. Um, so yeah, I'm going to give it a shot, definitely. And it's caked with special features there. If you're able to pause and read, if I can avoid the glare. But yeah, that is all that I have picked up in the month of May. Quite a lot that I did not expect it to be such a massive video. Well, that is going to be the end of this video, so thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in a couple of days' time for the next episode in the PS2 Collector's Corner Chronicles. I'll see you all next time for that one.